What's going on? You're hanging out with Phill Kross, and we're doing it. The show goes on. It always goes on, where we get the opportunity to connect with superstars and entertainment professionals in the industry and how they're navigating COVID-19. Today, we're kicking it with a good buddy of mine. He goes by the name of Jason Flom, music industry executive, superstar podcaster, philanthropist, and he's the founder of Lava Records, one of my favorite labels out there. Previously the chairman of Atlantic Records, Virgin Records, Capitol Music Group. He's also an advocate for those who have been wrongfully convicted, which is super cool. He's got a great heart. You can check out that podcast, Wrongful Conviction. You also see the shirt that he's rocking right now, which is super high. There you go. There it is. So Jason has signed a ton of superstars. I mean, before we got on to do this thing, I said to him, hey man, like, can I mention all of the artists you've signed? But just to mention a few: Skid Row, Katy Perry, Lorde, Jessie J, Greta Van Fleet. He's got a brand new artist that's out now that just came out. Some girl named Anna. We'll talk about her at the end of the show. But without further ado, Jason Flom, are you there, man?
I'm right here. What's up, Phil? How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you doing? Hey, listen, next time you're in Westchester when all this craziness is over, we got to get a rematch at golf, man. Let me tell you, this guy he's a badass golfer, and he kicked my ass. We were in Westchester, and I just got my ass kicked around the course. So round 2, I'm coming back at you, baby. Look out.
Let's go. I can't wait.
Couple quick questions for you here. There's a lot of craziness and a lot of talk about what's going on with COVID-19. A lot of people are confused. A lot of people aren't sure what's going on. And it's great to connect with people like yourself that are very established in who you are and what you do in the music industry, and to help shed light and wisdom from somebody like yourself to those people that are out there that need a little guidance. So, question number 1. Is COVID-19 a natural phenomenon, a military bioweapon, a conspiracy that was accidentally or purposely released by a secret society like the Illuminati, or is it the 5G network? What do you think?
I think it's just a disease. I mean, these things, it's a virus. These things happen, right? I mean, I don't know. You think when the flu first came out, everybody was like, I don't know. I think it's a conspiracy from I don't know what the hell the latest invention was back then. The people who invented the wheel are up to something, I don't know. Like, to me, it's a virus. These things happen. I mean, I do think, if you want my opinion, and I'm no scientist, but I think if we all stopped eating meat, these things wouldn't happen, because I believe that they do come from, our ridiculous obsession with eating dead animals. And, we all know the connection with the wet markets and everything else, but it's deeper than that. I mean, it's at the end of the day, if we continue to do what we're doing and we continue to destroy, abuse, and torture animals and then consume their dead flesh, at the end of the day, there's a price to pay, not just karmically either.
I would have to agree with you on that, man. And the more and more I learn about the animal abuse around the world, it's really disheartening. Would you say, if you had to pick one of them, would you lean on natural phenomenon?
Yeah, I think it comes from from that world, which makes it sort of a natural phenomenon. Although, again, these animals are placed in unnatural environments. I think that's really where it came. I mean, from what I understand, that's where. But anyway, what else do you want to talk about?
Another thought: a lot of industry professionals and creators, they rely heavily on traveling, collaborating in person, and being in the room. You, as somebody that's been in the music industry forever, and you've worked on all sides of the music industry, how is this affecting your workflow as a CEO and also as a creative in the music industry?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think it's really, we're still in the beginning of this, unfortunately, or I don't think we're anywhere near the middle. So we're all just having to adapt. I mean, videos, like making videos is obviously extremely tricky. I mean, even states like my new artist, some girl named Anna, who you mentioned, who I'm so crazy about, we're trying to figure out how to navigate that now. She made her first video for the song Kitchen Table in her family home in Webster, Minnesota, and her brother directed it, and it came out great. But there's limitations. And then even now she's back in Nashville, and Nashville is opening up, so to speak. But we're not allowed to make a video with more than I think 1 or 2 people in the room at a time. So you can't make a real music video that way, obviously. So we do have to adapt and figure out what we're going to do. And of course, the live business has been completely shut down. And that's, a whole nother thing. Like, how do you, I'm in the rock and roll
Right.
business by and large. I mean, Some Girly Man is a little bit different. She's more of a singer songwriter, more of like a Tracy Chapman, and Adele had a baby and Lord was the midwife or something. It's like that kind of a sound. But the fact is that, with the rock and roll band, how do you break a rock and roll band without putting them on the road? It's like, this is crazy times, man, for the music industry. I mean, this is the
What would
minimal. This is a small problem compared to the world at large, but for the music industry, it's crazy times.
You're at the top, man. You're the guy making the decisions, making the final call on everything. So if anybody, we've had a lot of people on the show, but it's really great to hear your words of wisdom. So for somebody like a new artist, like some girl named Anna, do you think maybe doing a virtual concert could become a thing of the future for her?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing all of that stuff. I think everybody's going to be doing those things, and I think people are gravitating towards it. We're starting to see that fans are, in some cases, even willing to pay to be on a live event, which I think up until now we really hadn't caught on to this extent. But now that there's no option, they still want to see their favorite artists. They still want to hear their new music. They still want to hear them talking. And, in this case, because of the way things are now, you could also chat in some of these. LiveX Live is a company that has an amazing platform where you're able to chat and do different things inside of the concert. So it becomes, obviously you're never going to rival a live experience of being in the club, but we're not going to be in clubs anymore. Are you going to go to a crowded nightclub to see a band anytime soon, or an artist of any kind? Like, and be, I mean, we, it's crazy because it seems like years ago, but it was only a couple months ago. We would go to a club and you'd be there like just jammed in, like shoulder to shoulder, right? Excuse me, guys, like to even walk to the bathroom, or, I mean, there's certain clubs you can, which ones I'm thinking about, where they're just you get so jammed in there. It's not a thing. And of course, there is no business model that I know of that allows you to have a quarter full club with social distancing in a concert. What kind of fun is that, right? I mean, up there, like, like, I mean, it's so, and and how does that work economically? It doesn't work. So, I mean, I have no idea what the future holds for that, but I know it's not going to be the same anytime soon. And it's, it's very surreal.
As you know, I'm engaged. So my fiance Ariana and I, we were supposed to get married June 7th. We were just getting invites out. Of course, I'll let you know as soon as whenever we figure out the rescheduled date.
And by the way, everyone, just when it does get rescheduled, I just want to say to everyone now, everyone who's watching is invited. I'm inviting you all as my guests. I'll be posting about it on my Instagram. It's Jason Flom, ITS Jason Flom. So once I get that invitation from Phill, I'm putting it out to the world. We're all going to have the biggest party to post Corona Phil's wedding. Let's go.
I already love you like a brother, and I look forward to seeing you there with your party hat on, baby. You know what I mean?
And I'll get all weepy here myself.
I'll keep it moving. That way we're not breaking out the tissues over here. So how can professionals in the music industry support each other a little bit better during this time?
I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting business. We all have our rivalries, but we all have I think we all have more probably friendlier rivalries for the most part than most other businesses. I mean, when we're all competing to sign an act, we're not friends, but it's funny because, my company's Lava Records is in partnership with Republic. And, Monty and Avery, I always admired them. And we used to have a rivalry when I was with Atlantic. And we would check in with each other once every, several months and be like, just compare notes on what we were breaking. And it seemed like every time I was breaking something, they were breaking something, and the other way around. And so, I mean, those guys are ultra competitive. But at the end of the day, we all kind of live together under this, we all know how lucky we are to work in a business that we love, in a business where we're able to, help artists become, reach their potential and bring music to people, that makes them happy. So, I mean, I'm counting my blessings every day just to have a chance to even work in this business. And I think most of us that are in the business feel the same way.
It's just really sweet to hear all those nice thoughts, especially in the time that we're going through now. Is there one piece of advice that you may have for people that are in the room right now? When I say in the room, I mean literally they're stuck in their room and they can't leave their house.
Well, I think that, it's interesting. We just did a whole mini series of my podcast, Wrongful Conviction, where it's called Wrongful Conviction at the time of COVID. So what I did is I interviewed people who were in extreme social isolation, people who were innocent. Amanda Knox interviewed Damien Eccles, Nick Yaris, and one of the guys from the Central Park Five, Dr. Yusuf Salam. So they shared their tips about, they went to prison for crimes they didn't commit. So we're talking about, they were in a 6 by 9 foot cell with no TV,
Wow.
no internet,
Wow.
no Netflix, no refrigerator, no, you talk about, I mean, all of us, are going through stuff, but they were able to share their perspective and some of the things they talk about of how they maintain their sanity and their, positivity and stuff. I mean, they talked about maintaining your sense of humor, about meditation, yoga, about staying in the present, not trying to project too far out into the future or anything else like that, and different routines that you can get into, even cleaning, like cleaning. Damien was talking about like cleaning your cell. Just he would get down on the floor and like scrub with this little tiny thing that he had, just because it was a routine to do and something positive. And I think we're very lucky, relatively speaking. I mean, none of us want to be stuck inside, but we have FaceTime. We can talk to our friends, family. We can, I'm catching up for me. I'm catching up on Netflix shows that I never would have had a chance to watch. Because, I'm in the business like you are. We go out at night to see shows or meet friends or whatever it is. So I think some of these things are were really helpful to me, and maybe they'll be helpful to other people. And listen to podcasts. Listen to Wrongful Conviction. What the hell?
Funny you say that. I was gonna throw that in at the end here, and it's a really good podcast. I've caught a couple of years. My hat's off to you for that. You know I love you. I think the world of you, and I just think what you're doing is so great. And for anybody that's seeing this, make sure you check out Wrongful Conviction. It's an incredible podcast. Jason is an incredible guy. They're in season 10 right now, and I believe you've had over 15 million downloads.
Yeah, we're about to launch season 10 on Wednesday, actually. We're talking about the case of a guy named Julius Jones, who's on death row in Oklahoma for a crime he didn't commit. Been there for 20 years. And my guest on the show is Kim Kardashian, because she and I are working together on the case. She's really a tremendous advocate, and she's, for anyone who doesn't know by now, she's really smart and she cares a lot. I mean, this is something that touches her heart, and she is out there. I'm working behind the scenes, doing things. Everybody sees what she does, the tweeting, this and that about this stuff, but she's behind the scenes, like doing everything she can to help on these cases. And it's really, it's been a real joy to get to know her and to work with her.
I can't wait to check that out. So definitely go check out Wrongful Conviction. It's an incredible podcast. And the other thing too, go to my man Jason Flom's Instagram and go follow him. It's Jason Flom. ITS Jason FLOM. Go add him, go friend him, go like his stuff, go heart his stuff. He's the man. He's doing some incredible stuff in the music industry and even outside the music industry, helping to really change people that got put in unfortunate situations and wrongfully convicted. Also, his new artist, some girl named Anna. That single is another one you got to check out as well too. And the single, I believe, is called Kitchen Table, right?
Yep, Kitchen Table, Some Girl Named Anna, all one word, no capitals. And I hope you like it as much as I do.
I'm sure I will, man.
Sounds good. I'll see you at the wedding and on the golf course.